If you want to learn to be more effective and productive with your time in Excel, then you need to learn how to use shortcuts. It will save you hundreds, if not thousands, of hours in time. We are now going to look at 11 of the most basic Excel shortcuts for you to learn so you can start practicing them straight away. So the first shortcut we're going to look at is Control S. This is to save your worksheet very quickly. So instead of going to the top of the screen to save, if you have auto save turned off, you can just press Control S to save your worksheet, and you'll see this box here changing as you do that. So the undo function is very useful in Excel, and most people just come up here and click on the undo arrows on the ribbon on the left. The last 9 things I've inputted into this spreadsheet are these 9 numbers in column I. Now I could just press undo up here to get rid of them, but in fact what you can do on your keyboard is just press Control and Z. That will work the undo function for you, and as you can see, you can do that multiple times. Now, following on from the last shortcut, if you undo too many steps, you can press Control and Y and go back forwards a few steps, as so. Now we go on to Control A, which is how we select everything on the screen. So if I just press Control A, you can see everything selected. However, it does work a little different depending what cell you're currently in on the screen. So as you can see, I have this table set up. Now, if I go into a cell within the table and press Control A, as you can see, it's only selected the data within the table, not even the headers. I can press Control A a second time and I'll get the headers, and I can press Control A a third time and I'll get the whole worksheet. However, if you start in the header and press Control A, you will get the header and all the data contents within the table, and you just press the second time to get the whole worksheet. And as you saw at the beginning, selecting a cell outside of the table, just any generic cell, and pressing Control A, and you'll get your whole worksheet selected. Now we're going to have a look at Control Space, which is how we select a column quickly. So Control Space will select a whole column for you. However, if you're within a table and you press Control Space, it will just select the column within the table, not including the header, as you can notice. So here we'll go on the badge account, Control Space, it will just select the data, it won't select the header badge account. Have the header selected, you press Control Space, it will select all the data in the table for you. Now we're going to do the same thing for rows. However, this time the shortcut is Shift Spacebar. We'll select a whole row for you. However, if you have a cell selected within a table and you press Shift Spacebar, it will just select the row within that table. The next thing we're going to look at is a movement shortcut, which is holding Control and using the arrow keys on your keyboard. Now, if we press Control left arrow, it will jump from cell I5 into the first data point in the table on row number 5. If we press it again, it'll go all the way to the far left of the table. And if we press up, it will jump us up to the header. Up again will take us up to the top row. If we press down again, back to the header. Press down again, we'll go to the bottom data in the table. Down again will complete the table. Now if you press down once again, it will take you right to the bottom of the spreadsheet. And if from here I press, say, Control and right, will take me to the far bottom right corner of the spreadsheet. If you look at the cells, we're at 1,048,576 for our row, and our column we are on XFD. From here, I could press, I'm still holding Control, I can press up, will take me to the far top right cell. From here, if I hold Control and press left, take me to the far left-hand cell. So you can notice the table actually creates kind of stopping points where it will stop it jumping too far. It will take it to what Excel believes to be the next relevant cell you want to look at. So again, we went to header, data. We would go to far right data, but only within the table, back to the top. So you're kind of jumping around within the table here. However, as soon as you leave the table, it will take you to the far ends of the spreadsheet. Obviously, you have multiple tables on the spreadsheet. It would only jump you as far as those. So just have a play around of it. It's quite intuitive once you start using it. Now we're going to take a look at the shift arrow function, which we're starting here in cell D7. And if we press shift and down, it will highlight the cell below. We could press shift down again, 2 cells below. We could go shift to the right. It will then highlight all 3 cells to the right of the 3 we've already selected. If we press left, it will actually lose that, go back to the middle, left again, and we'll then select the 3 cells to the left of the 3 we've selected. So give you a little bit of control if you just want to select a few cells. Quite intuitive. Now, if you actually combine this with the shortcut we used earlier, which was shift spacebar, you could quickly select, say, 3 cells here in the middle, D7, 8, and 9. And if you wanted to select all of these rows within the table, you hold shift spacebar and you can select them all. So you can combine this with other shortcuts you've used already. So shift spacebar again would take and select all the cells outside the table. So again, have a play around, fairly intuitive. Try and combine it with the earlier shortcuts as well. So that was shift arrow. Okay, now we're going to have a look at control shift arrows. Very similar to the shortcut we've just looked at previously. Whereas before shift arrow, you could select one cell in either direction. If we start here on cell B6 and we hold shift control and then press right arrow, we'll select all the way to the end of our table. You can see that row is now highlighted. And then from here, if we keep holding control shift and then press down, it will select the rest of our table. And from here, you can just play around using the arrow keys, holding control shift and see what it does. So another shortcut for you to use with the arrow keys. So now we'll look at a quick Autosum shortcut. Now let's assume we want to find the total of these tickets sold here in column C. What you may see people do is type in the sum function, so equals sum tab, and then they'll click control this column and close the parentheses. Total, that's fine, this takes a while. Or from here, people go up to the ribbon, at the top right up here, and they'll click auto sum. It's even quicker. Just want to show you is the shortcut. So if you come into column C14 here, Alt equals enter, you have it. It will automatically do the auto sum column. What you do need to do, however, is just double check what it is calculating. So if you just double click on the cell and check here, the reason I say that is if you have had a space somewhere like so between your numbers in your table, and then you went down and you pressed Alt equals again. If you look there, it's only trying to auto sum up to the break. So just be careful where you're using this shortcut and checking it's actually is adding everything you want it to. So last shortcut to look at then is a navigation shortcut. So let's say you're working on a really big sheet and you're miles away from where you want to be. What you can do to get to the top left-hand corner of your spreadsheet is just press Control and Home, and that will return you to the top left. It can be anywhere on your spreadsheet, and that will always return you to the top left or the beginning of your spreadsheet where your work started. Let me know in the comments below any other shortcuts that you feel I should have added in this video, and I'll look to add them in future Excel shortcut videos that I produce. You can check out my beginner bite-sized Excel playlist, give me a like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I try and produce about a video a week. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.